Hello everyone and welcome to this video. So today I'm going to be introducing you to Claude Sonnet 4.5, which was actually just released. Now this seems like a really nice model on paper because it actually beats every other model on XWE bench verified, which is a really important benchmark for software engineering, which is software development. And you can see that even comparing it to the previous model, which was 4.1, and Codex, and actually Gemini 2.5 Pro. I'm actually surprised Grok isn't included in this list, but it seems really impressive. But if you can notice something, the changes between the models have not been getting that huge lately. And it seems like these models have reached some sort of maturity. And I'm going to prove this to you by the end of this video. But you can see that this is actually a really nice release and I'm actually happy it's out. And I actually read this and it seemed really impressive on what they've been able to do. You can also see that the different software development IDEs have said that these are actually really impressive models. But one important thing I picked out of this release is the fact that Anthropic has said that this model was able to code autonomously for over 30 hours, which is very impressive. Because models have the tendency to give up really quickly. If you've ever used any of this before, you know that, especially Claude actually, it has the tendency to just tell you, oh, you can implement the other part of this app using this template, and never wants to go on. So it's really impressive that Claude has been able to solve this problem. So without further ado, I want to try to test this out and see if it can do something I've been wanting to do with one of my apps for a while now. So I have this app, Family Pictures AI. It's actually an app that brings together different pictures of different family members into one picture in different locations. Now it's an AI app and it was developed only for iOS right now. And I was thinking maybe I should develop this app for everyone and not just families. So I'm actually going to ask the LLMs to do this for me. So now let's go to Cursor and test this out. So I'm actually going to be testing out GPT-5 Codex first. And I have a prompt already. And this is what we're going to be using. So this just describes what the app is and what change I would like. So I really just want to rebrand it. I don't want any code changes or anything. What usually happens when you tell LLMs to do stuff like this is they do way more than you ask them to do. So we're going to figure out if Claude can actually do this correctly. Now, I already did run it and it told me what changes it made. And it seems really impressive, but I'm going to test it out to see if it actually didn't break anything. Now I have it running and it seemed to have done a good job. Everything is working so far. Can check if push notifications still work. The in-app processing still works. And I can still upload a background image. Let's test this out. Yeah, that still works. And I can use those for development, for taking a picture. And let's see if the functionality still works. So I'm going to select and try to develop an image. So this seems to work. The dimensions are pretty bad. It's something I'm actually working on the app, but the app functionality still works. So kudos to Codex for keeping this. So next we're going to try out Claude, if it's actually going to be able to accomplish this also. So I've used exactly the same prompt here with that model. And if you notice, I'm actually using Cursor also. I'm not using Claude Code or the GPT-5 Codex and tool. I just wanted to have the same IDE so I can actually test out the models themselves. And now this actually gave a more descriptive document on what it actually did. It seemed to have named it exactly the same thing, which is pretty cool. I do like that name, and I didn't actually tell it what name to use. So let's test it out if it works. So I'm going to run this and see how it does. I think Claude seemed to have kept a few more stuff on the previous app, so like the same theme. So it did read the text and tried to match it. And yeah, the functionality still works. Push notifications, in-app purchasing, uploading images, that works. And let's see if we can still generate stuff. Again, hallucinations. It seemed to have added other individuals to the image, but the functionality worked. It's not its fault. It's a problem with the model, actually. So everything seems to work. So that's pretty awesome. So that's basically what I was trying to say in the beginning of the video. A lot of these models have gotten to maturity. They can do exactly what you want them to do if you prompt them really well. So the differences between each release doesn't really matter much. Now it's just a preference on what model you want to use. And that's why I recommend tools like Cursor, because you have access to different models, and when any one of them falls short, you can always switch models. So that's it for this video. Just let me know what more type of content you would like to see, and what trials you would want. I'm actually working on a video right now where I was using Lovable AI, which is a new tool that actually tries to develop entire apps without the database structure and every other thing developed by you, which makes it more easier for non-developers to code. So I'll be making a video on that soon, and have a good day. Bye.